Welcome to Wonder Garden. If there are orchid pots in your garden that are withered, seemingly lifeless, do not rush to throw them away. Today I will share with you a way to restore the roots of orchids, using only very simple ingredients that anyone can find right in their own kitchen. With this method, your weak orchid pots can completely revive and continue to show off their beauty in the garden. If you are a beginner, please subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any orchid care tips. Let's get started. My orchid is currently suffering from dehydration. When an orchid becomes dehydrated, its leaves turn soft, wilted, and wrinkled. The most common cause of this condition is that the root system has stopped functioning and can no longer absorb or supply water to the plant. First, I will gently lift the orchid out of its old growing medium to check the condition of the roots. As you can see, most of the roots have dried out and turned mushy, almost losing their ability to absorb water. At this stage, I will cut off all the damaged and rotten roots, keeping only the healthy ones, if there are any left. In addition to the English voice, we have now created dubbed voices in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on Settings, the gear icon, to select the appropriate audio language. After removing all the damaged roots, I will rinse the entire plant with water. Washing the orchid helps eliminate any dirt and fungal infections clinging to the stem and roots. At the same time, it cools down the plant and reduces the risk of bacterial or pathogen spread after pruning. This step also supports better recovery before we move on to treatment and replanting. After washing, place the orchid in a dry, well-ventilated area to prepare for the next step. To treat the orchid after removing the damaged roots, I will use fresh ginger. I take about 15 grams of ginger like this. Ginger has strong natural antibacterial properties, which help prevent fungal infections from entering the cut areas and protect the plant during its initial recovery stage. I will cut the ginger into small, thin slices so that it will be much easier to grind it into a fine paste later on. By chopping it into smaller pieces first, the grinding process becomes smoother and more effective, ensuring that the ginger releases all of its natural juices and antibacterial compounds. Place the chopped ginger into a blender. The next ingredient I will use is a fresh aloe vera leaf. Aloe vera has a cooling nature and is rich in nutrients and natural gel, which helps soothe wounds and supports the plant in healing faster. At the same time, aloe vera provides essential minerals and stimulates the growth of new roots, giving the orchid a better chance to recover and thrive again. I will also cut the aloe vera into small pieces and put all of them into the blender. By slicing it up first, the blending process will be easier and more effective, allowing the gel and nutrients inside the aloe vera to be released completely. Next, I will add about 500 milliliters of clean water, then blend everything together until it becomes a smooth and uniform solution. The combination of ginger and aloe vera in this solution brings multiple benefits when it comes to treating the orchid. Each ingredient contributes its own unique role, and when mixed together, they create a natural yet powerful remedy to support the plant's recovery. Ginger, with its strong antibacterial and antifungal properties, acts as a protective shield for the orchid. It helps eliminate harmful bacteria and fungi that may still be clinging to the root surface after pruning. By doing so, it greatly reduces the risk of reinfection and prevents root rot from coming back. This protection is especially important during the early recovery stage, when the plant is still weak and vulnerable. After blending the mixture into a fine solution, I will strain out the pulp to obtain the clear liquid. Removing the pulp prevents the solution from forming residue and makes it easier for the plant to absorb when used for soaking or watering. The extracted liquid at this stage is rich in nutrients from both ginger and aloe vera, providing strong antibacterial and antifungal protection. Next, I will dilute the solution with 2 liters of water to make it gentler, preventing the orchid from experiencing shock when it absorbs the fertilizer. After that, I will soak the entire orchid in this aloe vera and ginger solution for about 25 to 30 minutes. This soaking process helps disinfect the roots and stem, eliminating any remaining risk of fungal infections after removing the damaged roots. At the same time, the solution provides natural compounds that stimulate the formation of new roots, allowing the orchid to recover more quickly and prepare for the replanting process. Next, I will dip a soft cotton pad into the aloe vera and ginger solution and gently wipe the leaves once more. This method helps clean the leaf surface, removing dust and pathogens that may be clinging to it, while also allowing the nutrients from the aloe vera and ginger to be absorbed directly through the leaf epidermis. As a result, the leaves will not only become greener, shinier, and healthier, but their photosynthetic capacity will also be enhanced, helping the orchid recover faster and grow stronger after treatment. I will use the remaining solution to care for the orchid in 2 different ways. Method 1, I will pour the aloe vera and ginger solution into a spray bottle and gently mist it over the entire stems, leaves, and aerial roots of the other orchids in the garden. Spraying in this way allows the plants to absorb nutrients directly through their leaves and aerial roots, while also providing moisture and an extra boost of nourishment. In particular, the extract from ginger has strong antibacterial properties and helps limit fungal diseases, while aloe vera soothes and nourishes the leaves, making the orchids greener, shinier, healthier, and more resistant to common plant diseases. Method 2. I will further dilute the remaining liquid fertilizer solution with 500 milliliters of clean water and use it to water the base of the orchid directly. By applying it this way, the roots can absorb the nutrients more gradually and sustainably, ensuring steady nourishment for the plant. Aloe vera provides moisture and trace minerals that support strong root development, while ginger works as a natural growth stimulant, boosting resistance and helping the roots avoid rot caused by fungal infections. Thanks to this combination, the orchid will develop firm, healthy roots, lush green leaves, and produce many new shoots. After 30 minutes, I will gently take the orchid out of the solution and use tissue paper or a soft cloth to absorb the excess water remaining on the roots and leaves. This step is very important because it prevents the roots from becoming waterlogged, while also allowing the plant to fully absorb the nutrients that have penetrated during the soaking process. To root and revive this orchid, I will use 2 plastic cups. First, I place the orchid's base upside down into the first cup, positioning the top leaves downward so that they rest at the bottom of the cup like this. After that, I pour water into the cup, making sure it covers part of the leaves. This amount of water helps maintain moisture for the entire plant, creating a favorable environment for new roots to begin forming. Next, I will take another plastic cup and place it upside down on top, like a lid. This method helps create a closed space that maintains stable humidity and reduces water evaporation, while still leaving enough room inside for the orchid to breathe. With this setup, the plant has the right conditions to rest, recover, and soon sprout new, healthy roots. Finally, I will place the orchid in a cool, airy spot with indirect light. This helps reduce stress, encourages root regeneration, and keeps the leaves green. During this stage, I'll care for it gently, avoiding overwatering and keeping the medium just slightly moist. Every 2 days, I will uncover the orchid and mist it with water. This helps provide direct moisture to the leaves, while also creating a favorable environment for new roots to form more quickly. This is the orchid on which I applied this exact method about a month ago, after its entire root system had rotted. As you can see now, the new roots have grown back beautifully, plump, strong, and healthy. More importantly, the plant has already started producing new shoots, a clear sign that its vitality is returning. With such steady growth, as long as you continue to care for it regularly, you can look forward to seeing beautiful flower spikes in the near future. When the orchid begins to grow strong, plump roots like this, it is the perfect time to move the plant into an external growing environment, allowing it to develop more quickly and steadily. First, I place a layer of leca pebbles at the bottom of the pot, followed by a layer of small pine bark. This setup improves aeration, reduces waterlogging, and creates the ideal conditions for the roots to grow freely. After that, I position the orchid upright in the center of the pot and continue covering the base with finely crushed pine bark. I especially recommend using small-sized pine bark as it holds the roots more securely while avoiding damage to the tender root tips. Before using, make sure to properly treat the bark by soaking and rinsing it thoroughly to remove dust and mold. It's also important to maintain the growing medium at a moderate moisture level. If it's too dry, the roots may lose water, but if it's too wet, the plant is at high risk of root rot. In addition to the English voice, we have now created dubbed voices in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on Settings, the gear icon, to select the appropriate audio language. Cover the surface with a thin layer of moss to protect the new roots. From this point on, you can care for the orchid just like any other, while limiting movement until the new roots have firmly attached to the growing medium. So, I've just shared with you the complete step-by-step process of reviving an orchid that had withered and lost its entire root system. How do you feel about this method? Leave your thoughts in the comments below so that everyone can learn and exchange ideas together. Remember, when you care for orchids with patience and love, they will reward you with strong roots, vibrant new shoots full of life, and most importantly, stunning blossoms that are truly worth your effort. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to Wonder Garden so we can continue exploring more tips on caring for orchids and other beautiful flowers together.